My name's Don Lindforce. I'm the product development manager for the exhaust divisions of Pertronix, and we do Doug's headers, Patriot headers, that sort of thing. The car's a 1932 Ford Roadster Pickup. I'd originally built this car in my head back in 1973 when I was trying to buy one, and my dad convinced me it probably wasn't the right thing to drive to college, and as a working musician, having out at the bars at 3 in the morning, loading up my drum set and stuff. So I finally got around to building it, and this has been the result of it, and we debuted it here at the SEMA Show 2016. The motor I use in this is a Ford 351. It's a Boss 351 out of a 71 Mustang. It's an original Boss motor, which is a pretty rare motor these days. You also don't see them in hot rods very often. It was part of that concept back in 1973 that I wanted to do. That was kind of the ultimate Ford motor if you couldn't afford a single overhead cam. And I've had this motor actually since the 1980s, and I've put it in a few cars that never got finished. It just wasn't right for them. It finally found a home here. And I did some unique stuff on it with the carburation. It's got 8-stack injection on it that looks like original Weber carburetors, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. It's backed up by an original Ford 1960s close ratio top loader transmission, so it's a manual trans, old school style, followed by a Winters quick change rear end under it. The body on this is not an original Ford. It's a Brookville reproduction of the 32 Ford Roadster Pickup with some modifications to it. I did most of the metalwork on it myself. Then a good friend of mine who's a world famous painter, Pete Santini, did all the paint and everything on it. The interior in the truck I designed, and Ron Mangus, who has probably done more award-winning hot rods than anybody, actually did the stitching and everything for me. It is all genuine leather, German square weave wool carpeting, and again to my designs and everything, going back to the 70s and trying to keep that 70s vibe. And a whole part of that too was how the car was going to sit, how it was going to look, the stance, no modern, no billet, that sort of thing. The wheels are original 1970s American torque thrust, and the tires became a real important part of that because tires do everything as far as stance goes. So when it came time for that, I contacted Coker because they had exactly what we needed. Old school black wall tires that were modern in manufacturing. So the fronts are the Firestones that they offer, the rears are BF Goodrich, and they fit the era of the car, they fit the style, and I think they really lend to the look and how the car sits and what is appealing to the guys that have been coming by and really falling over looking at this thing. Absolutely not. It was always built to be a driver. We've debuted it here. It actually is going to go into hiding for a couple of months, and it's going to be brought out to the public at the Grand National Roadster Show, where it's entered in the America's Most Beautiful Roadster competition. The day after the Roadster Show, it becomes a driver. I'm going to drive the wheels off the thing, and that's what it was built to do.